Hello, good evening. Match day 3 of the Champions League. Arsenal's biggest test yet. Wembley again packed and, touch wood, kick-off time will be on time. John Barnes is with us. Now, John, victory for Arsenal tonight will really give them a great chance of qualifying for the knockout stages.
Yeah, it's a big game for them because Dynamo Kyiv were probably the favourites for the group and Arsenal's sternest test, and they're bottom of the league. And I think if they can actually take 3 points off them, it'll put 6 points between them and Kyiv effectively. As you can see, they've only got 1 point. They'll have 6 points more than Kyiv.
Arsene Wenger thinks 11 or 12 points would be enough.
I think less than that, because Kyiv are quite capable of taking points off Lens and Panathinaikos. But if Kyiv lose tonight, effectively if they're out, great for Arsenal, and Kyiv will definitely take points off Lens and Panathinaikos.
The problem for Arsenal, there's no Vieira suspended, there's no Petty injured, so it's a strange-looking midfield, John.
That's going to be a big problem for them, and I hope that that's the way they actually go. There's talk of maybe Gard playing inside Parler, but I think with the inexperience of Hughes, Parler alongside him, the strength of Parler.
You would prefer him inside.
He's a stronger player than Gard, and that's an important position, the inner midfield positions, where Petit and Vieira have done so well, and I think it's important for Parler to be in there, so I hope that's the way Arsenal go.
We mustn't forget that they are up against, effectively, the Ukrainian national team.
They are, and they've got 2 of the most exciting strikers in Europe.
Two outstanding.
Savchenko and Rebrov. Those 2 really have carried the Kyiv side over the years with a multitude of goals, and here you can see Savchenko in the air. He's a target man, a great header against Lawns, and he's a target man, the bigger of the 2. A little bit like Toshak and Keegan, he's the big target man, very quick, very strong, and Rebrov is the smaller of the 2, good into his feet, looking for through balls all the time, and an excellent finisher. He looks a little bit like Michael Owen there. I hope he doesn't play like him tonight. But here you can see against Panathinaikos, a great through ball, and this is what he looks for all the time. Great composure, and he actually probably scores more goals than Savchenko. But Savchenko is reputedly going to AC Milan after this game, depending on how the team actually does. So I hope that he prefers a winter in Italy as opposed to in Russia.
Arsenal must take their chances, obviously, John. I mean, they've not been doing that. It was just 1-1 on Saturday when they should have beaten Southampton.
Yeah, but I think with Bergkamp and Anelka, they'll always create chances. I think the biggest problem for them really is in midfield, because I can see Bergkamp and Anelka giving the Ukraine defence a lot of problems.
Midfield is the key.
Definitely, because I don't think we have a problem with Anelka and Bergkamp up front. They'll create chances, Anelka will put them away. They really have to control the midfield.
OK. Well, kickoff is less than 10 minutes away now. The crowd are still pouring in, as you can see. They were advised to come early. It doesn't help, of course, that Wembley Arena, just around the corner, has 10,000 folks there this evening. And indeed, some 40,000 people or more are expected nearby at Neasden, celebrating a Hindu festival. But all tickets sold out here yet again, and that's to be expected because the Ukrainian champions, Dynamo Kyiv, are no pushover. And Arsene Wenger is fully aware of the threat they pose.
It's a game based on quick passing and a lot of pace. A team who has a very good collective technique, keeps the ball very well, individually very strong, and with a lot of pace up front. So I would say they will let us come and try to catch us on the breaks.
Wembley Stadium on a blustery but mild October evening. It's Arsenal versus Dynamo Kyiv in Europe's top competition, the Champions League. John Barnes is watching here with me. They're attack-minded, these Ukrainians.
Yes, they are, and the pitch is excellent, in excellent condition. Bit of a sheen on the pitch, which people think will suit Arsenal's passing game, but it will also suit Ukraine's, because as Arsene Wenger says, their game is based on quick passing and a lot of pace, so the pitch actually will suit both teams.
Will they play 4-4-2, do you think, Kyiv?
Yes, they will. They'll really be a solid 4 at the back, 4 in midfield, and they'll allow Savchenko and Rebrov license to do whatever they want. Really, they rely heavily on those 2. If Arsenal can keep those 2 quiet, I can see them winning comfortably.
Do you think the wide open spaces of Wembley, John, will favour Arsenal, you know, because at Highbury, obviously, it's a much tighter pitch, or do you think it will be
I think it'll favour Arsenal, because Arsenal, of course, with Overmars down the flanks, getting down the flanks. It will be vital for them. Whereas the the Ukrainians tend to play a narrower game. They'll pack the midfield with 4 narrow midfield players, and they really look for Savchenko and Rebrov to give them a little bit of inspiration. They won't look to get wide too often.
And this Kyiv side, last season's quarter-finalists, we must remember that.
Well, they were in our group, Newcastle's group, and they ran away with the group. They beat Barcelona 5-0 in the new camp, which is no mean feat, and they were excellent.
OK, we're all set. So too are our commentary team, Ron Atkinson, and first, Peter Drury.
Thank you, Bob. Fantastically fervent feel about the old place again. Even so, a perceptible change in emphasis as compared with Arsenal's first European outing here 3 weeks ago. Then so much of the talk was simply of seeing and being at Wembley. Now, same venue, but it's so much more about the massive meaning of the match itself. With a win, by the end of the evening, Arsenal could be beyond halfway to the quarter-finals, and Ron, Kyiv, this group's anti-post favourites, could, to all intents and purposes, be out.
I think this is the match of the round. I think if Arsenal can see Dynamo Kyiv off tonight, I think that is a massive step forward, because this is without a doubt their biggest rivals in the tournament.
And we're, of course, just short of 73,500 here for the Panathinaikos game. They watched that man, Tony Adams, and his central defensive colleague, Martin Keown, win the match for Arsenal. That night there were many more Greeks than there are Ukrainians now. So this attendance is even more weighted in Arsenal's favour. His freshest Wembley memory is a good one. A goal last time out, and the same applies to him. This stage of last season he hadn't even played a game. Since he's become a double winner, a World Cup squad member, and an automatic pick at the back for Arsenal. The central issue in Arsenal's side is central midfield. To lose one World Cup winner from there might have been considered unfortunate. 2 borders on carelessness. It's a vast chasm left by Messrs Petit, injured, and Vieira suspended for 2 stoppage time bookings. Step forward and fill Stephen Hughes, for whom this is a first European start, and Remy Gard. Notwithstanding the financial attractions of the West, Dynamo Kyiv have clung to the players who reached last season's quarter-final. En route, of those 11, only the Georgian Kaladze didn't face Newcastle. One change from matchday 2, introducing Valentin Bielkovic, a recent scorer for Belarus against Wales. Rebrov and Shevchenko remain the stars. Between them, these clubs lent out more than 30 players for international duty over the last fortnight, so you could pick a half-decent side from that lot. Richard Wojcik is a Pole. His only previous experience in England was for Manchester United's 4-0 defeat of Galatasaray nearly 4 years ago. Stephen Hughes, still only 22, but after a brief career as senior understudy for Petit and Vieira, tonight shouldering vast responsibility in the absence of both of those. Andrei Shevchenko, 11 days Hughes Jr., but the senior threat to Arsenal, and according to some sources, as you heard, due to sign for Milan soon after tonight's game. "49 years old tomorrow. Happy birthdays, Eve." It's the start of the 80th match in Arsenal's European history. Their aim is to pull off a 40th win, and should they do so, a first Champions Cup quarter-final would begin to hove into view. Lest though you are lulled by Kyiv's indifferent start to the group. And remember, a year ago this week they were beating Barcelona 3-0. And this is the bulk of the Ukrainian national side, which so far has played 3, won 3 in Euro 2000 qualifying.
They're also managed by one of the old foxes of Russia, Lobanovsky. He was the manager when they were a great side in the late 80s. He's a great technical manager, knows the game ever so well. And I tell you what, he'll have a side well drilled, very, very adept at keeping the ball, and very, very much tactically aware. And the pitch, which is in immaculate condition as always, that'll suit a passing side. Arsenal point of view, it looks very much as if they've just made the straight change, you know, put the central pairing in midfield, which I think's right. I think Parlour does that right-handed side excellent, gets up and down, and I think they've just said to Remy Gard, you go and sit in front of the back four.
Vashchuk across the face of his own penalty area. Got it back from Kaladze, the Georgian. And now Vashchuk long for the first time and testing Kyiv for the first time. He'll become accustomed to the breath of Shevchenko on the back of his neck. There is Shevchenko, beaten to it by Gard. It's Bergkamp's pass, Anelka onside, and Lushny covering.
You know, a lot of the talk has been about, naturally so, about the two sets of strikers. Obviously, Kyiv strikers, here we see one in action right away. Shevchenko chasing a long ball. They are the stars of the show, but the duel I'm looking forward to most, you know, Overmars and Lushny. Their right-backing captain, a tremendous attacking player. I want to see how he deals with the pace of Overmars.
He's got a chance to find out. Overmars is taking him on and was balked before he reached Lushny. It was Winterburn's splendid ball over the top. Vashchuk went to meet.
Well, later in the game, that's a booking, I'll tell you. Vashchuk, incidentally, is not going to play left back, as we showed in the caption. He's going to play as a sweeper.
Bergkamp over the free kick. Keown and Adams forward, of course. Anelka's the other target.
I'll tell you what, there's all sorts going on in the penalty box there between Keown, I'll just put him in, and the number 7 Kaladze. All sorts were going on just prior to that. There were fists flying and everything. I think what's happened, they're obviously very much aware of Arsenal's strength on set plays, corners, and they're trying to prevent the Arsenal doing that little switch spin runs they do in the box. A little look for that next time. See if the referee or the linesman are quick enough to spot it.
Dimitrulin. Now Rebrov for the first time. Kaladze galloping forward. Winterburn aware of him, and Overmars away. Great turn, and Winterburn's kept on galloping, and now he's got lost, and Husin is occupying his space with ball at feet. And now Shevchenko, and still Shevchenko. You were warned, he's quite a threat.
I was talking to somebody in the game, it's a very knowledgeable chief scout for a major club, raving about this fella. You can see why there, can't you? Pace, aggression, good touch, and he actually won the ball to start that run. He got quite physical with one of the Arsenal players to win it. I tell you, this isn't an easy game for Arsenal at all.
Away by Kaladze. And now Vashchuk. They've only just opened, catching up with the West, a club store for Dynamo Kyiv over there in Ukraine. And already the Shevchenko shirt is outselling the rest put together. Kyiv. Remy Gard. Bergkamp. Anelka. Gard's kept going. Adams. Good looking ball if Dixon can keep it in.
Yeah, they're going to have to look to do that sort of thing, Arsenal. Pull people short towards the ball, because Kyiv play man-to-man marking at the back, and Elka's getting special attention. And so sometimes they've got to pull towards the ball, and one of the defenders has got to run from a deep position.
Kaladze with the loose pass. Bergkamp trying to put in Parlour. Anelka waiting. Parlour's cross. Polovko away.
I think that's the reason why Arsene Wenger's kept Parlour on the right side. It's a very hard position to play that wide sort of midfield area. And he balances Overmars off.
Parlour for Dixon. Anelka. Space for a turn, perhaps. Rebrov was bringing it away. Hughes has won it back. Winterburn offered an option wide. Hughes was more direct.
Good tempo about the game, isn't it? Arsenal started at a high tempo, and there's been a lot of physical challenges as well. I think we're in for... I've got the feeling that it's got the makings of something special, this.
Dixon for Bergkamp. This is Kosovsky. Shevchenko. Needed two of them. Hughes got the vital touch. Adams got a second bite. Anelka. Oh, and still Anelka. He's done terrifically well here. Bergkamp's in the middle. It was too tight an angle, really.
But we've seen Shevchenko do it at one end. Now we've seen the power and pace of Anelka. A little bit fortunate with the break he got early on in the little squabble, but he showed how positive he is.
This is Luzhny. They call him the horse for his gallops up the flank. He really does patrol his area of the pitch.
There'll be a mental game going on with him and Overmars. Overmars will try and make Luzhny defend. Luzhny will try and make Overmars go back. Some fascinating duels for me on the pitch. The only thing that's surprising is Bergkamp's been given a lot of license. I thought they might have man-to-man marked him.
He's picked out Anelka. You might call an adrenaline shot, but you're right, Ron, it has a great feel, great noise, great sense of occasion.
That's a big one. This is a little flick through now. He drives off. He gets a lucky break there, Anelka, but he drives, and that's what I love to see a striker doing. You're right, he's forced wide. I'm not sure whether he just played a general direction ball there, you know, but at least he went for the box. You know, when they talked about coming to Wembley, Arsenal, I thought it was wrong, you know, I thought they'll lose something. And yet, you come in, the atmosphere is phenomenal. I mean, you know, it's different to when the national side are here because they're all supporting basically the one team, aren't they?
Kosovsky again. The outlet down the left. Dixon creates a cul-de-sac down the right side of Arsenal's defence. Luzhny is the other point of attack. Oleg Luzhny. Shevchenko far post, and Dixon did the sensible thing. He was the only one of the famous back five who didn't make the Football Writers Premiership 11 of last season.
I think you just saw in that little play back there, you know, something Overmars being forced to defend, let a 1-2 go. Luzhny played on with Hussein, and they really created a decent ball out of it.
The first Kiev corner is Rebrov. Out by guard. This is Vashchuk. Oh! Now that did stay here.
You saw him shaping up to hit it, and I thought, I don't believe he can't be doing that. And yet, swerving, dipping, and he's had to do that, Seaman. He's had to just parry it round the box, round the corner.
They call him the best defender in the Ukraine. A lot of shooting practice in training last night, and he was central to it. Kosovsky's corner. Parla partially away. Adams further out. And God continued the exit from the penalty area before being crudely tripped by Luzhny, who is booked.
No complaints about that. That was a booking from the word go. What it does do, of course, it means it leaves him under pressure for challenging Overmars. I think an Arsenal tactic, if they could do it straight away, is just keep giving, get Overmars wide, stick him the ball and say, go on, engage the fullback, see if you can get him a second booking, if you like.
Bergkamp. Anelka. Kosovsky with a fortuitous touch, which nonetheless didn't help the goalkeeper. Back through by Hughes and flag up against Overmars. For the record, by the way, Luzhny now becomes the third Kiev player on a yellow card. Shevchenko is one booking away from suspension for the return game in 2 weeks' time. And likewise, Vashchuk. None of the Arsenal 11 is on a yellow card.
I think one of the beauties about the scenario for the game is the fact that, I mentioned about Lobanovsky, the coach, you know, he's a very much an attacking coach. He's not the sort that likes his teams to defend. So I don't think we're going to see a sterile performance from Kyiv. The other thing they've got, of course, is they will know but they have to win it to stay in the tournament, virtually. So I think we've got a perfect scenario for it.
And the impact that this game could have on the next is potentially huge. Because should Arsenal go to Kyiv when the Ukrainians are effectively out of it, the crowd could be reduced from 80,000 to 18 over there. This is Dixon's ball in, Adams back post, Husin away. Overmars. Winterburn. And guard from deep. Keown. Anelka. Nice idea. Husin holding it up. Kaladze digging him out. Trulin, Rebrov, Hughes imparting pressure. Kaladze. Trulin, Kusovski, Kaladze. Kusovski.
They must have put 20 passes there together, 21 touch passes, all nice and bright, bubbly, fizzing the ball about. And I tell you, they're making Arsenal chase the ball. It's not passing for passing's sake, it's passing with a little purpose, waiting for the opening.
Bergkamp for Adams through the centre-forward channel again. And Anelka was crying for it, still might get it from Overmars.
I think Adams delayed his pass there because he saw Anelka was offside.
It remains one of the heartening sights in English football to see someone like Tony Adams charging out of his own half.
You can't tell that's that lad, he's just top. Not top. Bang.
Those heart-pounding sights. Always an off-the-seat moment. This is Vaschuk. Luzhny. Shevchenko tried to get away from Winterburn. Hughes to clear. By Holovko. Bergkamp. Anelka onside. He's scored in each of his last 2 outings for Arsenal.
He's got that lovely pace, hasn't he? Particularly when he's against the last man. And particularly when Bergkamp's in possession, as he was then, to feed him in. Kusovski. Shevchenko. Oh, terrific challenge by Tony Adams. And however much one applauds his forward-thinking motives, his tackling, when it's well-timed, is also great to see. Husin. Certainly trying to put balls, Dynamo Kyiv, into areas where they turn the Arsenal back four. They play balls in front of them, they play 1 and 2 touch in front of them, and all of a sudden they try and just drop one over the top and turn them round.
Vaschuk. Rebrov in front of it. Vaschuk's kept going. Shevchenko's through the middle. Adams again slams the ball shut. And that's it, playing with fire. Luzhny's short pass. Shavkovsky to the rescue.
No problem, he's only teasing Overmars.
It's a brave man who teases Overmars. He'll tease you back big time. Bjelkovic, the Belarusian. Husin. Space for a shot. Husin! They backed off and they backed off.
Well, they've had 2 warnings, haven't they? We saw Vasychuk early on hit his, and this one from Houston. He's really give that the gun. Now that's maybe where Vieira and Petit are being missed. When people steam through in midfield against them, you would expect somebody like Vieira or Petit would be going and getting the challenge in there.
Got a goal against Armenia for Ukraine a week ago. Third for his country. Also scored in the quarter-final last year in Turin against Juventus. Kyiv. Parla. Bjelkovic fouling. His role remains the wide right one, but he's still a threat coming in field. Winterburn for Overmars. Dixon. Winterburn. Overmars.
See, they're very much aware. Obviously, you do your homework at this level, and they're obviously aware of Overmars' pace. They're trying, as soon as he receives possession, make him just knock it off or knock it back to Winterburn. Is that a shaky start, Lee Dixon?
Well, certainly erased the last 60 seconds action from his videotape of this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a thrash at 1 or 2 things. I mean, the one good thing about him, he's got enough character and enough know-how that won't bother him. He'll just keep pegging away.
Sofsky, that's a good ball. Bjelkovic. Shevchenko. Well read by Dixon. That's what he's paid for, to be fair. He's a defender and he defended hugely effectively.
Tell you what, you know, the Ukrainian side are enjoying this. I mean, they haven't had good results in the Champions League, but certainly the national side, of which they basically are, they've had great results. So they won't be phased at all very much. I'm just surprised how much space they're letting Bergkamp have.
Paul, Bergkamp through the middle. Anelka there as well. Overmars back post. And Winterburn arriving now. This is Nigel Winterburn. Overmars with Hughes just in field. Guard making a diagonal run in front.
That's what I'm on about. They're quite happy for Overmars to come in field and knock it back or lay it in there.
Adams seeking out Parla. Out to Shevchenko. Houston nearly caught on the ball.
They're comfortable with it, though. They're comfortable. They don't mind accepting when they're tightly marked. There's that 1-2 again between the right-sided players.
And this is Luzhny. And he has pace and he has real power. And he has Shevchenko in the middle. And he couldn't find the cross he wanted.
And I tell you what, the problem was he only had Shevchenko in the middle. There was about 4 Arsenal shirts in there and just Shevchenko. But that's twice now Luzhny's shown that little combination on the right-hand side. And Overmars' defensive frailty is lacking. Although he's not a defender, let's be honest. But sometimes, if there's a battle to be won, you may have to go and sort that battle out.
Left-footed player in the Kyiv side is Kosovsky. His ball to the near post. And again, Kosovsky. Shevchenko with Adams. Mitrulin. Bjelkovic, Shevchenko, Bjelkovic. Wasn't the passing neat?
Oh, I'll tell you what, they are playing some stuff for me. They are really zipping about. I mean, it's positive as well. Lovely little give and go between them. There's Bjelkovic. I think he's just slammed for a deflection there. Couldn't pick a pass. Has gone for a deflection and hoped it hit a red shirt and went in. But I'll bet Arsenal never expected to be under this much pressure in a home match of this sort.
You can see there 21 minutes gone, and haven't those minutes flown by?
Well, I've been lucky this year, you know, watching great European matches, and this bears with any of them.
Bergkamp and then Dixon.
This is like an old, when you say old-fashioned, this is like a knockout match, really. As if teams are trying to be tactical and play for. Both teams are trying to win the game.
Krasovsky. Dmitrulin. Pustin. Rebrov, lovely turn. Luzhny again wide. Luzhny's cross. It's come to Kosovsky. Dmitrulin. Two-footed player, the left full-back. There is the cerebral leader of the Arsenal gang. Fascinating to eavesdrop on a conversation between him and the Fourth Estate yesterday on the subject of club and international football. He spoke of the masochism required to manage England and the sheer enjoyment he gets out of managing Arsenal. Another good tackle by Adams. Dmitrulin, though, has remained onside. It's Dmitrulin's cross. It's Keown's clearing header. Bergkamp with a key touch. Overmars and now Winterberg. Luzhny is a good player, Ron. You were speaking about him before, weren't you?
Yeah, certainly he was a player that we were very interested in last year when I was at Sheffield. We talked a lot about taking him and tried to set the preliminary things up, but as you know, dealing with people from that part of the world is not the easiest thing in the world. But that's what I think Arsenal must try and do. I think Overmars shouldn't keep looking for the thing to feet. I think he's got to try a few over the top.
Keown with the long ball. Away from Overmars to Parla. Walker kept it in but was unsupported. Ashchuk brought it clear. Rebrov has it. Kaladze is calling for it. It's an Arsenal ball. No one played more minutes in Arsenal's title season last year than Nigel Winterburn.
I think he could play a key part tonight as well, Nigel. I think he should get Overmars just scalping a bit, running off the ball, making Luzhny face his own goal and trying to drop a few over the top of him.
And there is one of the grand maestros.
I tell you, that team he had in the 80s, which was the national side as well as Kyiv, they were phenomenal. They were one of the quickest counter-attacking sides. I talked with John Barnes before the game about it. They could sprint from end to end with the ball, and you can see the signs of it in this side.
Adams, good ball. Guard. Bjelkovic stolen. This is Shevchenko. Pustin. They needed two on him.
Tell you what, sometimes I wonder, Shevchenko is obviously such a good player, but I think there's times, you know, he could just look up once or twice. He loves attacking defenders, he loves running with the ball. But I think he sometimes ignores the support player. And he generally doesn't need to, he generally beats the defence himself.
Bastion. Jelkovic. Matrulin. Husin. Remigard stood firm.
I think that's all he's got to do, Remigard. He tried to be a bit complicated just a few moments ago and got caught in midfield. I think his job is just to be bread and butter, sitting there and knock it off and try and link up with Bergkamp as much as possible.
Jelkovic for Husin, in space. Jelkovic again. And out again by Remigard. Husin.
I mean, that's one of the valuable things. Let's just see if Bergkamp can make this count.
Hughes did well to feed him. Bergkamp went down in the centre circle. Free kick was given. Bergkamp took it hurriedly. Polovko hadn't retreated. And the Polish referee sympathised with Arsenal's viewpoint and allowed it to be retaken by Hughes.
It's interesting, the last two free kicks Arsenal had it in the attacking third. They've tried to give it into Overmars' feet. Normally you always associate Arsenal and you're pinging it in and letting Adams, Keown, or one of the big guys get round. I just wonder whether they're trying to get him to get loosely to dive in a second time.
Nigel Winterburn. Kyiv. Parler. Dixon. And out of space, Lee Dixon, 10.5 years an Arsenal player now, 15.5 years a professional player. He's been around the block once or twice.
I think you've put a great word against him there, professional. He had his critics when he was in the England team. You know, that wasn't something I subscribed to. I thought he was a very useful performer when he played for England. And certainly the very fact he's still playing in the best defence in the country bears that out. You don't get there on sort of sentiment, do you? You don't win what he's won on sentiment.
The referee, I think, has penalised Dixon for lingering over that throw-in.
I think he pinched a few yards, actually.
Bergkamp. Anelka through the middle. Bergkamp's pass. Anelka took... Oh, great touch from Shavkovsky. What an outstanding goalkeeping effort.
Great football all around, wasn't it, that? Oh, superb. Great link-up play between the Arsenal striker and very well timed. A lot of keepers just come and clean players out in that situation. He was very, very tidy and concentrated.
Jelkovic, Kosovsky.
This is what's happening. I mean, we've just seen a near miss at that end, or a near escape, and all of a sudden, Kyiv straight to the other end.
Kosovsky well cut out by Adams. He really is man-mounted. He rises to these occasions. Keown's turn to cross halfway. Overmars. Anelka. Winterburn. Overmars with Luzhny at his back. And Shevchenko doing good work for his side. And setting off on a run. And making himself available now. And Rebov has found him. It is Shevchenko. Jelkovic continued his run. And couldn't be relocated.
I don't think Nigel Winterburn at left back's appreciating the amount of pace going against him on that side of the field. There's that's a lovely threaded ball between defenders. I actually thought the keeper was a bit slow reading the script, but when he's come out, you know, very confident. Looked only at the ball and he's made a good hand on it. A number of times you see keepers come out and just clean everybody out, and penalty and sending off things occur. That was nice, clean goalkeeping.
Well, if goalkeepers mature later than outfield players, then at 23, Shavkovsky has a fair way to go. Bergkamp. Anelka. Parler wide. Dixon overlapping. Anelka in field. It's Nicholas Anelka. He's ridden what? He's ridden to Anelka!
I tell you what, that would have been a major talking point. He was strong, he was thrustful like he was on the earlier thing, but is there a case for handball here? Does he take it throwing his hand here? I think he nicked that throwing his hand. Fortunately, it was. It was actually a very good opportunity once he got into the final shooting position.
Those who've been quick to criticise Nicholas Anelka for the chances that, beyond doubt, he has missed in recent weeks, I've always found that anyone within the game they talk to will tell you that this guy is going to be big, and very big.
You'll also talk to anybody about great or good strikers, and they do not miss them to score some.
Parla. Last off Kosovsky. Anelka, not a neat turn, but one defender too many this time. Up by Guard, who up to now I think hasn't had a bad game. Of course, he deputised for Ray Parla in the last game against Panathinaikos and was wide right. So some would say was a pale imitation of Parla, but infield alongside Hughes in the absence, remember, of Petit and Vieira. Arsenal have looked perfectly solid hitherto. But here's Rebrov. Tackled by Winterberg.
I think what you might wonder where they're missing Petit and Vieira, who are two world-class players, no doubt about that. Where they might be missing them a bit is the fact that... this is interesting. No, he's seen it off. Not quite. Is the fact that Dynamo Kyiv can play balls through the midfield. They play a lot of passes, but they're playing through people in midfield. They're passing it through people.
Hughes. Good run. Husin going back. Usually helped him out. And now becomes the outlet. Touch from Polovko. Jelkovic. Keown was there in time. Parla has space into which he could run. Anelka is offside.
Well, I think we're going to class end-to-end thrusting. I mean, he's just marginally offside there. Nice threaded ball. Vasyuk's read the script well. As Parla pulled his foot back, he stepped up on Anelka. That's good experience defending. But at the other end, Bielkovic was a touch off putting Kyiv in.
Kosovsky. Bielkovic. Kaladze. Rebrov.
That's the sort of ball I mean. They're able to get the ball into the strikers quite comfortably.
Luzhny to the near post. Adams away. Kaladze. Polovko. Anelka went back to cover. Vasyuk. This is Dimitriulin. Husin. Dimitriulin. Kosovsky. Corner off Keown.
I bet it's been some time since Keown and Adams have had as much defending to do in the home leg of a European match. I don't even know if Keown played, probably going back to a game against Benfica about 5 years ago, I think.
That night a centre-half scored for Arsenal as well, Colin Pates. Arsenal went out. Rebrov's corner. Out by Adams. Polovko. Out by Parla. Luzhny. This time Guard up highest. And now Bielkovic. Luzhny. Good work by Winterburn. Arsenal's ball too. Bergkamp, bit of space again. And Anelka in front, and Overmars wide. Anelka's pass. Hard to believe it'll end goalless. Really is a very, very good game. High on marks for technical merit. Overmars was onside, okay then.
He was onside, yeah. But once again, excellent defending by the Ukrainian side. They made sure there wasn't too wide a space for Anelka to thread his passing.
Kosovsky. Referee didn't like the look of Dixon's challenge. And he's awarded a free kick taken quickly by Bialkovic. Only at the age of 23, this goalkeeper Shovkovsky has won 5 titles, 2 cups and 14 caps. It's made it seem a little bit of an underachiever, really.
Thought he could have let the gun actually, the referee. He's penalised Kyiv by stopping the game.
Lushny.
I don't even think Lushny's that fast.
He's asking a lot. Anelka. Overmars. Bergkamp, Dixon. Guard. Parlour wide. Dixon's kept going. Here he is, Lee Dixon.
I think it's also got to be pointed out, you know, it's not a disaster, you know, if Arsenal draw this game. It's not a disaster at all. I mean, you say, all right, another point on the board. Obviously, they would want to win it, and before the game would probably expect to win it, but looking on the evidence of the game...
Bergkamp's done well. Dixon's won a corner.
The evidence of the game, it's going to be a very difficult game to win, isn't it? Looking at Bergkamp there as well, I think he should go up front a little bit more. Try and give Anelka a little bit more support. Whether it's the very fact that Vieira and that are not in midfield, and it means he's trying to drop back to help out. Let's have a little look at this, see if this pushing continues that was on the previous corner.
Adams has taken the penalty spot. Keown is behind him. Hughes behind him.
Adams will spin right round the back, won't he? That's the normal one where he goes right to the back in a big spin.
Winterburn's corner. Keeper has stayed on the line. Away by Husin and further out by Bialkovic.
Husin did very, very well there because Adams had made his space.
And Dixon's done well to hold off Shevchenko. Arsenal still have both centre-backs forward. Actually, Adams and Keown have now retreated, and it's Parlour. And Gar. Bergkamp. Bergkamp's ball in. Shovkovsky had a little juggle. Hughes by then had peeled away. Finally broke his duck, of course, against Newcastle. Week and a half back, Dennis Bergkamp. Here's Dixon. Bialkovic. Husin in front. Shevchenko peeling away. Husin again. The red boots of Keown in importantly. Guard clear. Bergkamp held it up. Adams got a touch. Parlour wide. Bergkamp. Space for Arsenal. Parlour through the middle. Anelka waiting. And Bergkamp couldn't quite feed the pass. And Kaladze, the Georgian, is the man prone and requiring attention. One of the 20 players in the Kyiv squad away on international duty. And he was out of action as Arsenal strung together some super passes.
Defended it well there, read it very well. Feinted as if he was going to dive in and they just made the interception. That's good defending. I mean, I think there's been so many. The only quality we've been short of is a goal. I think there's been so much slick passing, so much bright forward play, and the ugly things of the game they've done well. You know, both sides have closed out very well. I mean, Dixon's had a little bit of a nightmare, if you like, on the ball, but he's had very little space. Every time the ball's gone to him, somebody's closed him out.
Shevchenko. Awkward for Seaman, but he did just about enough. Gard ran it away.
I did that early on. I think Remy Gard's got to get disciplined into the fact that he's the server. He's got to win it and serve the good players.
Bergkamp. Winterburn. Overmars has gone outside of it. Anelka inside. Winterburn's kept going. Anelka went through 360 degrees in search of support and found none. Husin's got it clear. Shevchenko's onside. Bialkovic alongside. Rebrov arriving. Luzhny wide. Here's Luzhny. Corner.
Looking for offside there. He was appealing for offside on the early part of the movement. Lee Dixon was playing them all on.
Into the last 3 minutes of the first half at Wembley.
I don't think they should stop this game. I think they should turn straight around and let's get back on with it.
There's the threat, Shevchenko. Husin's forward as well. Kosovsky to the near post. Guarded by Gard. This is Arsenal's 4th consecutive home game. Panathinaikos and Newcastle, Southampton, where they missed a hatful and failed to win. And now this, the next 4 are away. Bergkamp did nicely then. Overmars nicking it in field. Parla couldn't reach it. Kaladze for Husin. Adams across. Anelka. Had 4 around him. He was always second favourite. This is Shevchenko.
I tell you what, I know it's wrong. You want him to have the ball all the while, don't you? He's that sort of exciting player. I mean, to be fair, he's ignored his left-sided player here, but he's got one thought in mind. He drives and he shoots. Look at that strength, pace. He's a good runner on the ball.
5 goals in last year's Champions League. And 3 already in this year's competition.
And you have to say, I mean, it's unfair to Remy Gard and Hughes here because they're good players, but they're missing those two in the tackles, the back tackling, and the ugly things that those other 2 midfield players do for them, the 2 French guys. But they'd still have it all on against these because I think these are a good side. They're passing and they're pressing the ball very, very well.
Now, this is what we always said that they were. But his side attack now with Overmars, cut out by Vaschuk. Shevchenko, Kaladze.
You have to believe if they allow them that much space, and it's hard for midfield, it's hard for defenders to come out and close out because they're usually occupied with the strikers. You know, but if they keep inviting the Dynamo Kyiv to have those sort of shots, you have to feel one of them's going to be bang out of Seaman's reach.
Dixon. Kept battling all in vain. And 1 minute of stoppage time to be played. I don't know where that came from. It's been pretty well non-stop. Hughes. Parla. Up to Remy Gard. And now Hughes. And then Winterburn. And Anelka. Oh, nice idea. Winterburn kept going. And now they're exposed. It's 2-on-2. Bialkovic, Shevchenko, what a terrific tackle from Lee Dixon.
That was life-saving. Well, life-saving's a bit dramatic. That was a very important challenge. Adams just acknowledging Dixon for that.
And it just underlines the fact that if it hasn't happened for Lee Dixon going forward, in his own defensive third, he hasn't put a foot wrong.
Very seldom you see Arsenal defence, the Arsenal backline outnumbered 4-3 as they were then. Is this the first time either side's took a breather? I mean, they've just steadied it down a little bit now, Dynamo Kyiv, but it doesn't seem as if either side's taking a breather. They'll get one now.
Nor seemingly has there been a break in a first half high on technical merit. Nicholas Anelka, a constant threat for Arsenal. Pace and power and an eye for goal, which has so far remained unfulfilled on the night. For Dynamo Kyiv, Andriy Shevchenko has been equally threatening and equally frustrated hitherto. But another 73,000 crowd inside Wembley Stadium can only have been impressed by what they've seen hitherto. It could go either way. At half-time, it's Arsenal 0, Dynamo Kyiv 0.
Nil, Dynamo Kyiv 0 after 45 minutes, fascinating 45 minutes of this Champions League Group E match. Well, John Barnes is sitting here with me. We did mark their card. I mean, they're a class act, aren't they, this Ukrainian team?
They're playing really well. Shevchenko, not so much Rebrov, but Shevchenko has been excellent for them in this half. And he was electric in the first 5 minutes. He had a great shot, and really, I think that they deserve to believe.
Yeah, we picked him out, John, didn't we?
He's coming out wide, getting the ball. Here he comes inside. I think it's Winterburn. Then he goes inside Keown and has a left foot strike. That's his weaker side, but he hits the target. But he's been dangerous. They've all been dangerous, coming through and shooting from midfield. That
was very much a solo effort. We talked earlier about the fact that Petit and Vieira were missing, and suddenly we saw Kyiv having long shots, sort of just going straight through the middle.
Well, they've run straight through the middle of them. This is from a corner, and this is a 40-yarder, and this really wouldn't be David Seaman, but you know, they got closer and closer. As I said, that one was from maybe 35, 40 yards. But as you can see, they had another one from maybe 25 yards, and they're running straight into the Arsenal back four. And although we've only seen 2 there, they've had 3 or 4 attempts from the edge of the box, and he can't afford to do that.
Yeah, so Arsene Wenger has to address that situation.
Yes, I think he's going to have to tuck Parlour and Overmars in when they haven't got the ball. It's fine to have width when you have the ball.
Overmars and Parlour
have to come in and allow them to play the ball out wide, because Arsenal will deal with the crosses. But Dynamo Kyiv are going straight for the middle of Arsenal, and Gard and Hughes are getting overrun. I think Parlour really has to tuck in an Overmars.
Yeah, overrun, you're absolutely right. But the last 15 minutes, at least Arsenal began to show something. Nicholas Anelka featured twice. First of all, thanks to Dennis Bergkamp.
It's a great ball by Bergkamp, and the keeper does really well, because on a diagonal ball, the keeper's not sure whether to come. But when he makes his mind up, he comes convincingly, and he gets a great touch on the ball. But Arsenal, as you rightly say, got back into it in the last 15 minutes. And really, they got back into it because they were playing more of a counter-attacking game. Here, Anelka has a bit of a lucky break, but he shows a lot of strength here in fighting the tackle off, cuts inside brilliantly, and unfortunately the left foot shot was over. But Arsenal got back into the game because they are now counter-attacking Dynamo Kyiv.
If Parlour and Overmars are going to have to tuck in, as you say, to stop Kyiv going through the middle as easily, what are Arsenal in turn going to do to really trouble this Kyiv defence?
Well, when Arsenal have the ball, width isn't a problem. Overmars can get wide, Parlour can get wide. But when they lose the ball, they're not tucking in quickly enough. They're allowing Kyiv to run straight through the middle. So width isn't a problem. If they stay out wide, when Kyiv have the ball, that's when Kyiv really cause them a lot of problems. So I think as soon as they lose the ball, they really have to look to tuck in, because Kyiv really are going through them at will.
You're not a betting man. I don't think you're a betting man, are you? But I mean...
Well, if I'm knowing Arsene Wenger as little as I do, I think he will get it right and he'll address the problem, and I expect Arsenal to come out and put on a much better performance, and I still think Arsenal would win the match. Fortunately to go in at 0-0, but I think they'll go ahead and win the game now.
Thank you, John. Now then, just in case you've missed today's update on the Leeds United managerial situation, well, it definitely won't be Martin O'Neill, because the Leicester City manager has today agreed a new 4-year deal at Filbert Street. So now it looks like David O'Leary to fill George Graham's job at Elland Road. The Leeds chairman, Peter Ridsdale, will name the new manager tomorrow, but he has hinted that O'Leary heads a shortlist of 1. Well, football tonight here on ITV, but on Saturday we'll be taking you between the ropes and into the ring for another big live boxing occasion.
connect properly on the button, as we say, and steal goal.
Oh, winner, the Shamrock Express,
Yes, big fight. Live is at 10:25 on Saturday. Earlier in the day at 1 o'clock, it's On the Ball with Gabby Yorath and Barry Venison. Right now, here at football's most famous stadium, Arsenal are drawing 0-0 against Dynamo Kyiv on match day 3 of the Champions League. Hello again. Arsenal 0, Dynamo Kyiv 0 after a nerve-wracking opening half for Arsenal here at Wembley. Let's hear from Arsenal's suspended French international, Patrick Vieira. He's with Gary Newbon.
Patrick, what has impressed you most about the opponents tonight?
I think so. It's a very difficult game for us because I think so. Kyiv plays a great game tonight, and they keep very well the ball. And for us, it's very difficult because we won after the ball. But I think so. If the team keep the same determination, we have something to play tonight.
Do you think Arsenal are missing your tackling from Petit and yourself in midfield, because they are coming strong through the middle?
I think so. Remy and Andre and Steve Hughes play a good game today. It's so difficult because when all teams don't play all together, it's so difficult. But I think so. The boss speak about this in the half, and I think so. When we come back, there's the two teams so a little bit tired, and I think so. It's very good for us because we play at Wembley and we have 70,000 people there after us, and I think so. We have something to play in the second half. Yeah.
Do you think it could go either way? It's a very good game, but very close.
Yeah, of course, it's a very good game. I think so. Everyone enjoys the game tonight, and everyone play, and I think so. This is very important.
Well, it certainly is a good game. Football purists and tacticians will love it, and we're looking forward to the second 45 minutes. So back we go to Ron Atkinson and Peter Drury.
Thank you, Bob. Interesting to hear from Patrick Vieira there. So much of the half-time talk, Ron, about his understudy and the understudy of Emmanuel Petit in midfield. Hughes and Guard, perhaps you might stay still learning their lines a bit.
Well, they are, but they're playing against some super players. I mean, their natural instinct, particularly Hughes, isn't to defend. Now, what's required at the moment is a couple of defensive midfield players standing shoulder to shoulder. But I'm sure even with Petit and Vieira in there, they would still have had it all on against these.
Well, this is the first Ukrainian team ever to play at Wembley. Arsenal have never before met a Ukrainian team either. But Arsenal are 9 matches unbeaten at Wembley during the 90s. And they have their work cut out at the start of the second half to prolong that record further. Husin winning it in midfield and getting it back from Bielkovic. Adams firm again. The debate about points required to qualify is also an interesting one. Kyiv qualified for the quarterfinals last year as winners of their group with 11. And yet the best second-place teams, Juventus in particular, went through with 12. So, theory based on history is not necessarily a reliable guide. But in these groups where everyone's beating everyone, or taking points of everyone, it merely gets more and more confusing. Shevchenko lifting it through. It's Bielkovic, it's Shevchenko, Rebrov is spare. This is Kaladze. Luzhny's ball forward, Shevchenko. Adams with the last touch.
There's times when Shevchenko is he's as exciting a player as I've seen it for a long, long time. There's times, you know, when he has it on the edge of the opponent's box, but he has wide support, and I think sometimes he did have there, he had Luzhny there. I think sometimes he ignores them. I mean, that's a belief that he can get through and score. He possibly might do. But I think from time to time he should just play a little ball sideways.
Husin there is one of the targets. Here's Kosovsky with the corner. The first time on the night he hit the man at the near post. Got a second chance, and it's Hughes away. again by Holovko, and then Husin. And that man Shevchenko again. To Trulin. Parla tackling. Trulin keeping on going. Parla tackling again. And Dixon finding Bergkamp.
So straight away, though, they don't let the key players, the Anelkas, the Overmars, Bergkamp, they don't let them get the head up and run at them. They're trying to turn them back straight away. That's the ball. One over the top, stretched them.
Lovely pass from Hughes. Overmars with a chance to attack. And Bashchuk just back.
That's the ball, I think. I said first half, that's the one it should be looking for. Tell Overmars just to run long and stick a few in there. He's got enough pace to burn defenders.
It was from corners at this end of the ground that Arsenal carved out their goal-scoring opportunities against Panathinaikos. There was one who converted one, and there was another. Bergkamp, first defender. Worth pointing out that both of those corners 3 weeks ago were delivered by Emmanuel Petit.
I think that's the only certainty he can get tonight, isn't it? That he's not going to knock one in today.
Winterburn's throw. Kindly for Bjelkovic, and then for Parla. Luzhny. Shevchenko against Dixon, and Shevchenko's won that battle. But not yet the war. Husin. Bjelkovic. Good run, good shots!
I mean, that's 5 now, isn't it? I don't think there'll be 3 more of those. I think if they get 3 more shots like this, one's going to go in, you know. And it's good, brave running, good, positive running, straight at the heart of the defence. And I tell you what, I'm not sure Seaman could have done much about this if it had been on target.
Valentin Bjelkovic, Belarus international, as they scored a goal in Cardiff last week. And in his time at home with Dynamo Minsk was prolific from midfield. 32 goals in just more than 80 games. What a return from his position. Melker's worked hard there, but to no avail. Rebrov. Kaladze went outside. Husin. Shevchenko. And again, did well to keep hold. Rebrov.
Funnily enough, little Rebrov, or the short of the 2 strikers, he's been the one that hasn't figured so much. I mean, he's got an outstanding reputation, and rightly so, but he hasn't done quite as much tonight as 1 or 2 of the others, has he?
Has a reputation, despite, as you say, Ron, being short, for excellence in the air. There's a spring in his boots, but that opportunity hasn't presented itself this evening either yet.
Definitely try and stop Anelka turning. They know all about his pace. They've had 2 examples of it tonight. And every time the ball's fed into him as a defender, right close to him, just making him go backwards with it. This is where he should spin. I think Overmars should have spun then and just stretched them. I know he's pulled short to try and let Winterburn in behind him.
Tony Adams directing and charging forward and finding Bergkamp. Away from Hughes to Kaladze. Wide for Rebrov. Husin. Wanted Kaladze, who was checking lest the flag went up. It didn't.
I think he thought he was offside. He wasn't. He was on the wrong foot as well. but they do get around the ball very quickly. If I give an example, like when you saw the Bulgarians against England here the last time we were at Wembley, sort of thing, you got the impression 1 goal they would go. But I don't think these are like that. These seem to me as if they've got a lot of mental strength.
Shevchenko from deep this time. What power! Terrific run. And Seaman read it terrifically well.
It's exciting. You're right. Good goalkeeping, but how many players can ghost past the Arsenal backline like this? He's taken them all and he's done them for fun there. Look at that. He is a player, man. Selfish, but entitled to be with what he's got in his locker.
But canny enough to start the run from deep this time.
I think they do that well. The two strikers, actually, they take up fairly wide starting positions. They try and start on the outside of the fullback normally. Both Rebrov and here he's again working the flank defender.
Attendance tonight, by the way, 73,256. It's a few dozen fewer than came to watch Panathinaikos, but then there were 10,000 Greeks that night.
Oh, but there is a recession, isn't there? Gates are down everywhere, aren't they? 75, that's incredible, isn't it?
It's another great turnout. I reckon there are about 1,000 British-based Ukrainians here, plus 3 plane loads who've actually come from Kyiv. Overmars. Hughes. And again, Bergkamp, shooting chance.
Just watching the number 4 then, Halovko. He pressurised Hughes, the ball got flicked off to Bergkamp, and straight away he changed his position and going to pressurise Bergkamp. Hence the very poor shot.
Times as well, the Ukrainians have it on the left side of their defence and play it right across the penalty area to locate Luzhny and start down his side. Guards hopeful ball.
One of the two markers, be it either Halovko or the number 6, Dimitrulin. They're always very, very close, you know, and Vashchuk just takes that very intelligent sweeping position. Not easy for people like Anelka and that to get the space. That's why I think if he can, Bergkamp's got to try and push up and engage the last line of defence. Try and take some of the weight off Anelka's shoulders.
Saw Grimandi and Vivas and co starting to warm up for Arsenal behind the goal just then. Changes perhaps forthcoming. Bialkovic on the ball though for Kyiv. And Dimitrulin hitting the cross against Dixon.
I think the only gamble you could possibly make. I mean, Arsene Wenger will look at this game at the moment and he'll think, you know, let's keep it at this. If it goes to 0-0, so be it. I mean, I'm just wondering whether he could, if he wanted to chase the game, if they went a goal down, whether it been Raya, and put him up front with Anelka and maybe drop Bergkamp back into the little position in the hole. But he would wake in his midfield again.
It's Yuri Dimitrulin, the left full back, who has just earned the corner, who's down, possibly winded. Restored to full fitness now. Husins comes to the near post. Seaman has come. Galante could find no space. Parla has plenty. And Nelka's through the middle. Parla sought him out early. Winterberg. Hughes shots. And he got plenty behind it.
Yeah, decent effort that. They've allowed Anelka to turn. Little layoff. There's Hughes, opens his body, skims it. Sometimes at Wembley, particularly if you can get those wide of the keeper, they take a little zip off the turf.
Kosovsky. Oh, nice shot. He's left Winterburn behind. And he's earned another corner.
He's a very progressive player, isn't he, down the left-hand side, Kosovsky. Picks it up, plays little intelligent balls, and then carries the fight when necessary, like he did there.
Well, that corner count, 8-2 in favour of the Ukrainians, which tells a story. Way by Adams this time. Back in by Dimitriulin. To no great effect.
I think that was the yes-no interlude from me. I don't think he knew whether to shoot, pass, or what. And that was the end product of it. Nothing.
There they are, about 50-50, British-based and actually having travelled from Kyiv. They have an awful lot of travelling to do because basically the same core goes everywhere with the national team and with the club side. Tackle by Luzhny. And he got it back from Shevchenko. It's Luzhny taking on Adams. It's Luzhny's cross! I have a feeling that flicked off guard at the near post.
What an upsurge. What a surge there. He knew it, didn't he? Picked up the tempo there against Tony Adams and left Adams for dead.
Kosovsky attempting to go between two again. Dixon's tackle, and Kosovsky had been a little overzealous in trying to break through anyway.
Look at this for a surge. He's picked it, he's driven Adams trailing there, and he's whacked it across. That's a very good deflection there because there are plenty of bodies pouring into the box there, Kyiv.
He reminds me, this fella, of a long-distance cyclist or swimmer, one of those athletes who has great powers of recovery as well as great power.
But at the moment, Overmars wished he'd taken up swimming.
Well, it's sink or swim for Arsenal now. Kaladze.
I tell you, I think now I've changed my whole thinking from before the game. I think a draw is a better result for Arsenal than Kyiv. When he keeps Kyiv at bay and looking at them now, you don't want them creeping anywhere near. I mean, if they were to win tonight, it puts them back in the frame. If they lose, it does not make it hard. Sorry, if they don't take a win, if they draw, it keeps them well away from Arsenal still. And by the look of that, they'll need that.
But it's Arsenal in Kyiv 2 weeks from now on. And that man has a whole new load of thinking to do. He may have Petit back, he will have Vieira back, he won't have Bergkamp.
I tell you what, I think you'll send Bergkamp out now. I think Bergkamp, when they play on Sunday, whenever the next game is, I think you'll get him in a car, a bus, a motorbike, or whatever. He'll get him out there for that game. Nothing surer.
It's an ongoing debate, of course. The issue being not just that he would miss the game before, but potentially, over a journey that long, he might have to miss the Premiership game after. So, all about logistics.
I think at the moment, I think they'd sooner have him in Kyiv than wherever they're playing in the league that day.
Kaladze, good tackle, Winterburn.
There's the one thing you do know about Arsenal, they're resilient. They can go away with those people at the back, and they can get a no-score draw. I think it suits them better when they don't have to, when they don't really have to make the game.
Luzhny's throw. Shevchenko came to get it. Bielkovic away by Adams. Husin straight at Overmars. And then Gar. And now Bergkamp. Parler ahead of him. Good turn, Overmars. Tucked in now.
9 men behind the ball. Everybody back now. Everybody back.
Parler.
They've restricted Arsenal to going wide in the last third. They pushed them in field. You watch Luzhny when he shapes up against Overmars. His whole body position is to say, go in field and run onto our central defenders or central midfield players. I think what is understandable, the tempo isn't anywhere near as high as it was in the first half. I was wondering whether both sides could keep that pace up. But it's still intriguing, isn't it? Still anybody's game.
Overmars.
See, they push him into the pack. Second defender in wrap, and look at the spring now.
Halovko's tackle. Bielkovic with the ball through the middle. Shevchenko into the box. Adams with a quite majestic tackle. What a tackle.
That goes with Bobby Moore's challenge on Pelly some years ago. That is one of the great tackles, because he was through.
Parler. Bashchuk.
I tell you what, we talk about great attacking skills. We talk about that is the highest class defending. I thought he was in there. I thought they were going to go one down, Arsenal. And that is magnificent challenging, that.
Slung in by Gar. Husin. Shevchenko again. They've slipped away from Overmars, but not from Kyiv. Tempo might have dipped, but the decibel level surely hasn't. Fantastic noise.
Oh, I think the fans realise tonight they're watching two very, very good sides, and although there's no score yet, I thought the keeper was going to help us along a little bit. Oh, look at that. That's a nominated one, and a little ricochet to his left back. I think they're appreciating what good players they're watching tonight.
Well, you talk about great slip fielders sometimes catching the ball once it's past them.
That's brilliant. That is magnificent, that, isn't it? Full marks to the fella for that.
Overmars again faced by Luzhny. He's kept going, Overmars.
They do that well. They are so well organised. Push him, push him, push him. And very often, you know, it's Halovko is the guy that springs from the back, the number 4, who springs and gets the toe ender in. He actually started the move that nearly got Shevchenko in at the other end.
Keown's work is cut out. Jelkovic won it from him. Rebrov has it. Guards challenge. And the Polish official didn't like it.
We actually haven't seen him have a dead ball kick here, have we? He's unlucky there. That's a fair challenge. I mean, to be fair to the referee, he hasn't been fussy all night. It hasn't been a dirty game, been very high tempo.
Shevchenko has won over the free kick, awarded by that man. David Seaman has 3 in the wall ahead of him, fast becoming 4 as Overmars joins in. And straight into Seaman's midriff from Shevchenko. On the occasion of his 37th Wembley appearance, David Seaman.
He's actually got the ball where he wanted to. He hasn't got quite enough pace on it, Shevchenko.
Overmars. Adams. Truly an inspiration tonight. Kyiv. Dixon.
Look how tight they are. As soon as he received, they know the danger of Arsenal's wide players. As soon as he went to Dixon, people are straight out at him, closing him down, right against him.
Adams' first thought is always a forward one. Overmars. Luzhny stole it from him. Jelkovic. Husin took that down well. Parler sliding in. Hughes with the ball over the top. Overmars chasing it. Both keepers off their line have read a variety of situations very well. Jelkovic, Husin. Winterburn away. Kalatze collecting. Luzhny. Trulin. Kosovsky darted in. Seaman darting out. Bergkamp. Anelka. Away from Halovko. Not from Dimitrulin. This is Kosovsky coming from deep again. A bit over-elaborate from the Ukrainians, and Parler nearly made them pay, but Vaschuk can bring it clear. Shevchenko will chase anything and everything, and he has it from Kyiv. Shevchenko for Rebrov! He made something where there was nothing.
For everything he's done tonight, his exciting dribbles, that makes him stand out, that, because he's outpaced Keown here, and very few people can, and then he's outstrengthened him. I thought he could have taken a little bit more care. I thought he could have even taken it closer in on the keeper there before he cut it back. I thought he might have taken it closer. But I tell you what, that is pace and power, that. I can't remember many people doing that to Martin Keown.
Here's Shevchenko again. Constant thought in the side. Holding off Winterberg. Kosovsky has gone outside of it. Bielkovic just inside. Oh, held him off. Luzhny. Hughes. Parla wants Anelka to latch onto that.
That's a super ball from Parla. A little spun ball into the corners, which Anelka likes to chase. But Anelka, you know, even if it had won possession, would have had nowhere to go. Nobody was catching up from midfield. Bergkamp hadn't made the box, and all that was in the box was Vazchuk, the sweeper.
Last quarter of an engrossing game.
And it makes you really wonder, you know, whether Arsenal themselves are saying, no, we're happy with the draw. I think they should be. You know, they'll take a win if it comes along. What they mustn't do is get beat. I mean, Bergkamp is operating that little area just, well, short of the striker. I think he should push in and then drop out there. In other words, he's further up the field. He's occupying one of the last line of defence. At the moment, the midfield players can pick him out.
Bergkamp, Hughes, Guard, Anelka into the box. Bergkamp into the box.
Good slick movement. Keeper was always in control, but that's a nice slick movement from the Arsenal.
Kaladze, Bielkovic in advance of him.
That's a lovely first-time pass. Little bit heavy, just can't make it. But as we've seen earlier, keeper's not slow off his line, is he?
Parla, Bergkamp, Anelka. Hughes at the back post if Anelka can trip between two. Golovko denied him that luxury.
I don't think there's any question of, if Arsene Wenger had to chase the game, he'd definitely have Rayon up front, you know. He would definitely be supporting Anelka. I think he's sussed it all out. I mean, he's a wily old coot, and he's probably gone, let's sort of sit with it a little bit. All right, sometimes you have to take a draw in games like this.
Vazchuk. Luzhny. Kaladze. Dimitrulin. Kosovsky. Dixon won't let them cast around his box.
Resilience, isn't it? Resilience, we saw it.
And there's Ray.
Now, I think this will signal Arsene's his intent here. If he brings him on as a straight swap for Anelka, he's quite happy with the way the game's panning out. If he puts him in as a support player for Anelka, I think he's going to win it. He could experiment even with Bergkamp wide on the right, pull Parla in one and take one of these, say, Guard or somebody off in midfield. It's going to be a very interesting substitution for me, this.
He's been as fidgety on the bench this evening as I've seen him for quite a while, Wenger. I'm sure, though, he relishes this kind of test and challenge. Here's Parla. Golovko. Shevchenko has drifted wide this time. Hughes blocking his path. Shevchenko coming in field. Bielkovic. Shevchenko flags up.
Oh, that was close. That was brilliant front play again. Oh, look at this. This is close. I'm not convinced here. Maybe. No, he wasn't. I thought at the time he wasn't. Oh, that's a let-off for Arsenal. That is a let-off. The number of times they've done, if you like, that full Monty with their arms stretched up and they've stepped forward and it's worked for them yet again when probably it shouldn't.
The evidence was clear. Here's Bergkamp.
Am I imagining things there? Could Bergkamp have hit that first time off his left side? I mean, you know, when he was in that vein of, was it this time last year, he was hitting everything. I think he could have hit that first ball.
But in those days, everything was flying in.
Yeah, see that there? That's the time. It would have been hard, but you've seen him wrap those away, haven't you?
I recall sitting with you, Ron, on a very hot day in Marseille when he wrapped one away against Argentina. Overmars, good ball for Winterberg. Aimed again at Bergkamp. Shevchenko, Husin in front of him. Adams and Keown together.
And you know that saying about lucky Arsenal used to be the old chant many years ago. Probably before your time, to be fair. More in Moro's time.
Barlow. Dixon. Good cross. Bergkamp! Yes! Just a hint of a smile from him. Absolute joy from everyone else.
That is a massive goal, that. I mean, a classic move. Full marks for Lee Dixon. Hasn't had the best in terms of producing. Sees only a ball, knocks it at the near post. And the first time all night, really, the Bergkamp's appeared in the box. He produces. Just got across the sweeper. Look at this. One touch. He can't afford another touch. That's a superb goal. I think they're appealing, the sweeper's appealing that maybe Bergkamp muscled him. I think it's more in frustration. They know that that is a massive goal.
It is a big, big goal for Arsenal. And Wembley knew it. To Mitrovic, Adams away. This is a time to stay tight now. Keep heads, regroup, retain sense. Winterberg.
The psychological thing is now they've got to score 2 to beat us. A minute ago, if the goal counts at the other end, they could have been out of it. Now they've got to score 2 to beat the Arsenal.
Well, lucky Arsenal might be ancient history, but 1-0 to the Arsenal is much more recent. And Nelka held it off. Overmars has it.
And that's the first time, I think, in the course of the game that I believe there it is. Oh, he's just got the last yard. He's tucked it in beautifully. And that's great striking. He's just got across the front of him. I think that's the first time in the course of the game that Kyiv have allowed Arsenal to produce a ball from the last third of the field. I mean, when you showed that corner count earlier, you know, I got the impression that they don't want Arsenal having corners.
Into the last quarter of an hour. This would be huge for Arsenal. And they've got to defend the corner, won by Shevchenko. Without debate, the outstanding player on the field. Nervous but excitable moments for them. Kosovsky over the corner.
I think there's been a change of heart with the sub as well, hasn't it? Declamardi warm him up.
Winterburn out. Bashchuk won it. Dynamo Kyiv have to throw men forward now. Kaladze, Husin, Shevchenko, Kosovsky, Hughes, Bergkamp, and Nelka in front. Overmars alongside. Foul on Bergkamp.
Clever that Bergkamp. That was very, very clever that. He ran the ball. You want something stronger than that, Arsene? He did 10 minutes ago.
don't have that man's intellectual constitution. If you put away too much that's strong. Parler. Well, there'll be replay machines all over Kyiv working for the benefit of that man. Mr. Lobanovsky, whose side, through his outstanding player Shevchenko, had a goal ruled offside, and evidence proved to the contrary.
Tell you, looking at him, you wouldn't think he'd had serious heart problems, would you, Lobanovsky? I just wonder now whether he might be going to throw. He's got another striker on the bench, Makovsky. I just wonder when he might throw him on as the last desperate gamble.
Hughes. Parler, nice touch. Bergkamp space. Anelka waiting. Martin Kyiv. Stephen Hughes. Overmars. Came back off Vashchuk. Hughes has gone wide. Overmars cross. Bergkamp peeling away. And there was clear use of the hand there by Bergkamp, who's been booked. I'm sure that's why the referee went straight over to him.
Oh, you're spot on there. Oh, it's a handball. I'm just wondering on the goal whether one or two of the Kyiv players were sort of half indicating they thought he'd used his hand there. He certainly hadn't. He definitely did there. And a rather stupid booking into the bargain.
Which of course means halfway to a suspension, but he's not playing in the 2 away games anyway. He only has one more Champions League game before the quarter-finals, assuming Arsenal make them. And at that stage, single yellow cards are wiped off.
Perhaps Arsene Wenger told him, he said, hey, if we don't win this, pal, you're going to Greece, you're going to Kyiv.
Bielkovic, Luzhny. Luzhny's cross. Out by Kyiv. Overmars. Bergkamp. Overmars couldn't quite get it back. Kaladze. Bielkovic. Shevchenko going in there. Vital flick from Kyiv.
Two super crosses just.
Dimitrulin. Luzhny. All hands on deck now for Arsenal. Luzhny's little ball in. And Kaladze can't keep it in.
Tell you what I'm enjoying. Certainly they look as if they want the game back, don't they, Kyiv? So we've still got a great last 10 minutes or so.
Whether or not that fellow travels to the Ukraine.
He travelled in the penalty area. That's what counted. He hadn't been there too many times tonight. First time he went in with a purpose goal. Brilliant.
And it's quite a send-off for his mates. Overmars, clever turn.
Who knows, we might have him working for us then that night. He might be doing the television.
From Luzhny. Out by Kyiv. Parler. Bergkamp. Parler's set off. Parler's in space. Chance to attack Vashchuk. Got it back from Anelka. Needed half an inch more on his stuff.
He needed to pass a little bit more into his run as well. I thought Anelka could have played that more into his run.
Kyiv's won it again cleverly. Parler's having to come back from offside on the far side. Guard was sensibly retaining possession, and now Overmars. That'll do very nicely for us.
And it's times like this, you know, when you sat in Arsene Wenger's place or whatever on the bench, we as fans are looking forward to. Is he going to bring you? Is he bringing you off now?
Well, the man being withdrawn is Hussein, and in his place, wearing number 18, Vasil Kardash, who did turn out against Newcastle in last year's Champions League. Attacking midfield player, and at 6 feet tall, a likely key defender for this Arsenal corner. Bergkamp's ball in. Kardash only partially away. Parler back through. Guard. Overmars. Anelka going in there. Vashchuk away. Bergkamp still wide from the set piece. And felt it was held back by Lushny. Referee thought otherwise. Vashchuk brings it away. Dixon well stationed.
I'm just saying earlier, you know, in times like this, on the bench, you don't look for your spectacular players now. You look for the solid people. That's where Guard, I was just thinking there about Guard now. Even more so now, he's got to be focused into just sitting there tight. Even Hughes, just sitting there and making sure they can't get at the Arsenal back four too easily.
By Dixon, back in by Kardash, and then clear from Tony Adams.
It's time to play off the front players now. It's time for Overmars, Anelka and Bergkamp to be hit with the ball and just keep the support behind them. No need for midfield players to go bombing on now. That's a sort of sensible thing.
It's Winterberg. Arsenal preparing to make a change. Vivas is off the bench. And the tracksuit top is off Vivas. Kosowski. Taking on Dixon. It's Kosowski's cross. And it's harmless enough. What we have is what we keep. Nicolas Anelka's being withdrawn after a hugely purposeful evening.
Yeah, I was trying to figure who he might bring off there. I wonder whether he might go and play 5 at the back. Bring one of the midfield players. I can just tell Vivas just to go and sit and hunt in there. Obviously, he's going to reinforce. Put Bergkamp up the middle. Perhaps joined by an Overmars. I don't know. Vivas is going to come and play the left-hand side of midfield.
Maybe 3 weeks ago, the Argentinian coming on as a late substitute.
Maybe they see Lushny as the main threat coming out of the hole at the back here.
Winterburn galloping clear. And slipping it past Lushny. Vashchuk sweeping up. Vivas. Last 5 minutes, and it's getting spicy.
But that is the first time in a highly competitive, high-tempo game there's been any suggestion of, if you like, animosity or anything. I think the game's been played in a terrific spirit. I think everybody's done credit to the game. I think it's been a tremendous game.
Keown cut that out well. Parler up the line will do. Keown's furthest forward. Overmars inside of him. Overmars onside. It's Mark Overmars. So nearly game, set and match. And that man, Lushny, is an outstanding athlete.
And I tell you where he's done well. He actually is appealing for offside while he's playing him off. The full marks him, hasn't waited, hasn't stood and seen what happened, has got back as a natural defender would do. He talks about that's almost, it's not quite as good as Adams' challenge, but it's almost on a par for me, that.
Overmars scored in France on match day 1. This time, Keown has stayed back. Adams is forward for Winterburn's corner. Adams is in there. Came back to Hughes, but in no sense did he have the balance or poise to threaten Shovkovsky's goal.
He nearly got plenty on that, Adams. You know, the keeper, it's like a half squash between the two of them there.
Can't overstate how big a result this would be for Arsenal.
I think if it stays like this and they go through on 7 points, I think they can only knock themselves out after that. They can virtually go into cruise control and go through.
Not least because the Kyiv bubble will be virtually popped. And it will be very interesting to see just how the Kyiv public respond if they perceive their home game against Arsenal to be, from their point of view, pretty well meaningless. Could take the sting out of that vast crowd. That's for a fortnight's time. Arsenal looking to build on their lead. Bergkamp stabbing it forward. Shevchenko. Kardash. Kosovsky. Palazzi arriving. Vivas clear. Luzhny wide. It's come to Kardash. Luzhny. Winterburn clear. Kaladze. Oh, he's given it away to Parla. And this time Parla had his shirt tugged. And into the last 60 seconds of scheduled time, it's an ideal chance for Arsenal to allow the clock to tick away a bit more. Two added minutes.
I suppose what will be going through everybody's mind on the Arsenal bench now is the number of late goals that have been conceded in this competition. I mean, if they hadn't conceded one themselves, they would be through now, wouldn't they?
As you say, Tony Verral with that injury time equaliser for Lens. Mauro got one late for Panathinaikos here 3 weeks ago, which turned out not to be of too much importance. But now the old Arsenal meanness and tightness counts for much. And Dixon has his work cut out here. Kosovsky's cross. Bialkovic in there. Keown with another key header.
A massive header, that. When he shaped him in, I thought that was going to be an equaliser. I thought Shevchenko was going to do to Arsenal what Bergkamp did at the other end.
Stoppage time, and Winterburn has been penalised for the challenge on Luzhny. And everyone bar no one is forward for the Ukrainians. Luzhny's ball in. Keown again away. Back in by Bielkovic. Chance for Rebrov!
It's that all last minute jinx again, isn't it?
It's a game of 91 and 92 minutes. And again, Arsenal have been made to pay for not going beyond the 90.
He looked offside when he received. Have a look at Dixon trying to make up the ground. That was the key man. Dixon's the key man. When he's hit there, Dixon hasn't made up the ground. It was still tight, but that's a good tight finish from Redruff. I mean, he's hardly been in the game, you know. Nice first touch. They see him as a mile offside. The old Arsenal right arm up. He's tucked it away tidy.
Well, you can't help feeling hugely deflated by that. Arsenal had nearly pulled off a massive result, and laudable though it is, even to have drawn, and there was a stage at which we were accepting 0-0, you just know how close it was to being 1-0 to the Arsenal. That's how close it was to the end. And leap though he does, no doubt to congratulate his players and Dennis Bergkamp in particular on a spirited and sometimes excellent performance. That late goal from Sergei Rebrov has denied Arsene Wenger and Arsenal all 3 points. Lee Dixon's splendid cross from the right teed up Dennis Bergkamp for a fabulous near-post header. And at that stage it was all smiles for Pat Rice, for Arsene Wenger and for all men Arsenal. But then right at the death, the ball lifted back into the penalty area by Bielkovic. Rebrov, perhaps offside, was all alone. And Dynamo Kyiv had stolen a point, which will give them some sort of hope when they return to Kyiv, not to face that man Bergkamp, but to face the rest of the Arsenal team in 2 weeks from now. Massively deflating for the likes of Keown, who was industry personified, but a result that perhaps you would have taken at half-time. Bergkamp for Arsenal, Rebrov late for Kyiv. At Wembley Stadium, it's finished 1-1.
Kyiv won, a result which leaves Group E looking like this. Arsenal with 5 points there, and Lens now in second place after beating Panathinaikos. That game also just finished 1-0. Lens are beaten there. Now, just before John's views, those of Arsene Wenger, the Arsenal manager, is with Gary Newbon.
Arsenal was a case of 2 offside decisions. Their goal was definitely onside according to television evidence, but the goal they had disallowed was onside as well.
Sorry? The goal was onside, yes, yeah, but I think there was no free kick. So the goal was maybe onside, but for me it was never free kick when they gave a free kick in the last minute, so it's the same. So I would say the initial decision was wrong, and after that, of course, I didn't complain that it was no goal. I just complained that there was no free kick.
It was a pulsating game. Is it a relief for you, the way that Kyiv played to get a point, to get a draw?
No, it's disappointing because I would say that the draw is quite fair compared to the quality of Kyiv tonight. But of course, when you're 1-0 up 30 seconds before the end, you think you will win the game, or you hope you will win it at least. That's why in the end, I would say we really had a great spirit tonight to fight against such a team. And in the end, the point is fair, but I still think that we could have come out with the 3 points.
Thank you.
80 seconds from the end this time. Arsenal have conceded, John. They love conceding a late goal, don't they?
Yeah, and you can see how disappointed he is there, and rightfully so, because, you know, although objectively a draw is a fair result, if you're 1-0 up with 30 seconds to go.
Super goal that put Arsenal 1-up.
It was a great goal, great movement. The only time that really Lee Dixon got forward, and it was a great ball by Pala, and a magnificent ball by Lee Dixon. And you don't really expect Bergkamp to attack the ball in the air as well as he did, but he did, and it was a great header. He got across the front man, and he was brave, threw himself at it, and it was a great header. And then you thought it was all over. And
well, you can see the elation. I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Rebrov, it came so late. I mean, we thought it was the other guy who was going to be scoring, wasn't it?
Yeah, because Rebrov had a very quiet game, but as you can see, Lee Dixon's trying to get off the line, played him onside, and it's a magnificent finish. That's all he did all night. He had a very poor game, but it was a great finish. Sent David Seaman the wrong way, and Lee Dixon just couldn't get off the line quickly enough to play him offside.
We must mention Tony Adams. This guy is amazing, isn't he?
Yes, he defended well. A lot of questions were asked of him tonight because Savchenko and Rebrov are quick, and here Savchenko goes past him, but that is a magnificent tackle. I actually thought he was going to go through. I thought there's no way Tony's going to get to him, but he threw himself. He actually got up and won another tackle, and he defended well.
Now, this is the offside goal, disallowed goal.
I don't think Wenger is aware of this, but this goal was onside. Savchenko got played through a great reverse pass, and this really should have been 1-0 to Kyiv. So, fair result.
All right, John, thank you very much. Now, with more football for you later this evening in our highlights programme, you'll be able to see all tonight's games, but featuring especially an extraordinary game in Copenhagen between Manchester United away to Brøndby in Group D. Terry Venables and Barry Venison with Jim Rosenthal. And if you'd like to see that game without knowing the result, then look away right now. Finally, two First Division results for you, one of great significance. Huddersfield 1, Sunderland 1, which means Huddersfield stay top, and West Bromwich Albion 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0. So it is a big thank you to John on a night which will be remembered for Ukrainian skill. It looked as if it was going to be that familiar old scoreline, 1-0 to the Arsenal, but for the third game running, Arsene Wenger's men have conceded a last-minute goal. Bye-bye.
This program was sponsored by Ford and Continental, UEFA Champions League.